See, I'm sure the let's go. Puerto Rican on the block, call the J Lo. Just cheeky on the clock like it's payroll. Tinted, ruler clip, look like Halo. Little Puerto Rican on the block, call the J Lo.
What's good, what's good? It's Tatiana, the one and only TYSF, and this is QODS Podcast, and we're back with a new episode. We have the one and only, the más Villarreales, in my opinion, the ones that have the best motherfucking pupusas in San Francisco, Los Bayuncos, and we have Carlos here with us. Boop, 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 boop.
So what's up? I'm feeling good. Thank you for the invitation. You know,
Yes.
happy to be here. Appreciate you guys reaching out to us and, you know, letting us come and tell our side of our story of our business.
For sure, of course. It's so crazy because Big Mo, he had already been tried your, you know, you guys do pop-ups everywhere.
Definitely.
And I'm always at work, so I was all like, what the fuck is the nigga talking about PUTACOS? I'm like, I've never heard of no PUTACOS. And that's, if I'm not mistaken, like you guys that's like created by you guys, right?
Yeah, that was created by us out here in San Francisco. The PUTACOS, the name, everything, how it went down, it was from us.
That's super dope. So I finally got to try it literally like end of last year, and man, it's amazing. Let's talk a little bit about how everything started and where it started. And honestly, like, you're Salvadorian, right?
Salvadorian, yeah. First generation, born here in San Francisco.
Got you. Likewise. Yeah. I feel like we grow up eating the foods within our culture, like a lot. Definitely. But not a lot of us take it to the next step and actually like give it exposure and show your community and other people what we're about, and most of all, give it that hyphy twist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did that
Bay Area twist?
Hell yeah, it's different.
Definitely.
And we'll get more into detail of how different it is, you guys, because it's different. Like Russell says, it's different here. So yeah, where did it start for you, and how old were you when it started, and you made that decision with your families to?
So I mean, we started back in like 2015, 14 with moms. It was me and my mom. I've always been drawn into culinary and cooking, and you know, it started when I was youngster with my mom, seeing her cook with my aunties and stuff for like the holidays and parties. You know how they get. So I always was fascinated with our culture and our food. But as I got older, started getting more into the culinary part, and then one day I just told my mom, I was like, you know, why don't we start doing tacos and pupusas, like taquisas? You know, we can do you do the pupusas fresh, I'll do the tacos. And so we were the first ones to do that all over in the Bay Area, actually.
Right.
Where we would come to your yard and we would do tacos, and my mom was doing fresh pupusas all at the same time. So we called it tacusas, you know, tacos and pupusas.
So you guys were getting booked for?
We were getting booked for that, yeah. So a lot of people knew, like, all right, let's get these guys. They don't only just do tacos, but they do pupusas too.
Right.
You know,
so you're like, win-win, actually.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation. Like, what? We've never had that. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, we bring moms. It's me and my mom. You know, so a lot of people was, you know, calling us. It became a thing. But, you know, from there, we just kept slowly keep, you know, doing it more and more until I recently, you know, like in 2017, got into like doing pop-ups at breweries. Speakeasy was our first one. And that's when we started selling more to the public versus doing just, you know, caterings.
Right.
So that was when we first started selling to the public. But by that time, we already had created the Putaco.
Got you. How was that? Because that's very different. Catering in people's homes who are from Latin descent and culture, most likely.
Yeah.
To going to speakeasies where it's a brewery where people are of different diversity, like, you know.
Yeah.
Were you nervous of like how they would receive your food?
You know, at first it was, you know, it was a little intimidating, but I knew at the time there was nobody that was doing what we were doing.
Right.
So, you know, you didn't find pupusas, and that's when pop-ups at breweries first started hitting off in the city, like 2017, I want to say 18.
Yeah.
It was a handful of people that were doing things like that. So we knew we had a market that no one was touching. You know, pupusas, to make them isn't something easy. Not anyone can do it. You know, you have to have a real touch for it.
You do.
You know,
I tried many times. It's not going to work.
Yeah, no, it's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love tacos. Tacos, I think, it's like one of the best foods ever. But it's not as easy as making a taco.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different. So we knew we had a market with it, which is why I told my mom, I think we got to start, you know, hitting up breweries and popping up. So that's when, you know, we did the jump. But it was intimidating, but we still doing it, you know.
Right. You guys have a couple highlights. You've been on Fox KTVU. You've been on North Bay Biz, I believe.
Yeah, we've been North Bay Biz. We did KTVU, like you said. We did Channel 48 Telemundo.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
We've been in El Salvador, actually, in their main newspaper.
No shit.
Yeah, in the Prensa Gráfica, they reached out to us all the way from El Salvador to highlight
What?
us. Yeah, that was a pretty dope. That one right there, I
That
think out of all of them
is.
was a dope one. A couple other ones has been the highlights. We cooked for the the Salvadorian and Mexican consul in Los Angeles. We got invited
That's crazy.
to be able to showcase our putaco as a unity between both countries.
Oh, that's hella. That's so crazy
Yeah.
how like your idea of a putaco can lead to like all this shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. How was it for you? Because that's a different thing too. That's like
Mm-hmm.
you know having a business is one thing, but now like promoting it in these platforms, like that's hella nerve-wracking. How was your experience being on TV? That's different, and being able to go all the way to LA.
It gets it's kind of hard, intimidating at times because you're not used to being in front. But
Right. Do you take someone with you, or you just?
it's always my mom, my cousin,
That's
which is
good.
my co-owner, my business partner that's in it with me too. His name's Hector. He's my right hand man. He's actually the one that just the flavor right now of what we're doing. He preps almost everything, and he's the one with the recipes taking over what my mom's teaching us. So it's kind of like we all have a job. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I have to take care of these kind of things like this, like podcasts and coming out on the TV, and he's the one in the kitchen.
Right.
You know.
That's super dope though that you guys all found a balance within family because it could get crazy with business and family sometimes.
Oh, definitely
Yeah.
it is. It's hard. Trust
Yeah.
me.
So it's super dope that you guys are like, you guys are focused on the bigger picture and
Yeah.
making it bigger than what it already is.
Oh no, definitely. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. There's times where like things don't
Right.
go,
Like,
go good.
Right.
Now the one thing with my cousins, like we always respect each other. We don't
Good.
we don't cross that line where we cuss at each other. We understand one another. So it's great to have somebody like that, and he understands me. He backs me up to the fullest. He joined me like in 2019 with Moms. He joined the Bayuncos. We created the whole Bayuncos thing because when he joined us, we wanted to switch our name, to be different from what we used to
Right.
do with Moms. So as we branched out from doing the backyard stuff and going into pop-ups, I had to change our whole gimmick, our whole
Yeah.
our whole name and stuff.
I like that you thought of that and did that
Yeah.
because sometimes people will join the team, but everything will remain the same. And I
Yeah.
think that's not really like including
Yeah.
the people that are joining your team. Like even with things like podcasts, like where I started is not where I'm at now, and the things I
No,
had to change, you had to do them in order to elevate practically.
Yeah, see, because when we first started, we were called PUPUSAS, and the future was a mom and son duo. So we had like a little cartoon character, what was me and her, of a picture of us that we would use, and everybody knew from, oh, there goes the guys, But when I told my cousin, like, join us, we're trying to switch it and starting to do different things, I was like, all right, we need to come up with something different. We got to change who we are and be called something else, which is funny how we came across with the name.
I know, because now it's like not only is that your guys' name, but like that's a word that's very much so used in our culture, and it's like I don't want to say I was. Well, I'm from San Francisco, so we
Yeah.
just talk different. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
My dad is Salvadorian, my mom is Chicana, so
Okay.
I can't just be like cipota. She don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, she
So
won't
it's just so
understand.
dope to when I'm around your pop up or around a lot of Salvadorian people do be around, and it just feels good to be able to like hear the language, see them enjoy the food, lick their fingers. 'Cause we eat with our hands. You heard me? So it's
No
super,
forks
super
allowed.
Dope. No forks. So it's super dope. I wanted to talk a little bit about how the Infused. I think your pupusas Infused is just such a smart game changer. Not just infused with like simple Latin flavors, infused like how when you did the jerk chicken. That I was like, if we had a Jamaican nigga right now, right here, he'd be. So who came up with the idea of infusing it deeper than just
It's
what we would use already?
So that part comes to me, the creative part. I've always been a fan of street food. I think street food is like my fascination. I'd rather go eat on the sidewalk than at a 5-star restaurant. You know what I mean? Or
Gotcha.
anything like that. Nothing against them, because what they do in those kind of restaurants, it's not easy work.
Right,
It's
right,
hard.
right.
I've worked in some. But my fascination itself, it's been always street food. Like it fascinates me. So that's why, I was like, I want to try something new, which is Thursday. It gives me the opportunity to be able to showcase what I like to do and how I like to cook.
Right.
I'm fascinated with a lot of Asian cuisine and mixing things and fusion, like you mentioned. My cousin, his background of cooking as a chef is more fine dining. He's more like French cuisine. Mine's is more street food, more Asian. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try and see what I can mix it with Salvadorian, you know? So, you know, everyone's using tacos for their cuisine now. You got Korean tacos, you got...
Right.
And I was like, why can't we start fusioning our food and, you know, try to, you know, something new?
Right.
So that's where I come in and doing all these fusion on Thursdays at Speakeasy.
What stands out the most to me is like, because pupusas, like you said, they have to be made a certain way. But when you fusion your food, it's not too overwhelming, because masa is one thing, the meat is one thing, the cheese is one thing, the flavors are there, and then you're adding flavors on top. Like, I would be scared shitless, bro. And like, you never fail. It's like crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, you'll be amazed. Like sometimes, well, the way the fusion thing started, I let the customers choose. Like, hey, these are the 4 options. What do you guys want to see me do this Thursday? So it gives me like 24 hours to prepare for it. You know, so for me, it's kind of like it's fun. But don't get me wrong. There's times where I like done stuff and I'm like, yeah, this shit's not gonna work. You know, like I gotta redo this.
Right.
And I'll let my cousins taste it, and they're like, nah, it actually does work. I'm like, you sure? So you know, it's good to have other people that I'll be like, nah, it does work. But I always, you know, got to double check, make sure it makes sense. You know.
Is this your full-time thing?
Now it is. Yeah, I was a traveling chef for like the last 3 years, but I ended up walking away in October to go full force now.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
because
you.
I think that's big. I literally admire when entrepreneurs, I have a lot of people that come in and out, and a lot of them have actually quit their jobs and like went full throttle on what they really, their passion and dreams. And like, I've been rapping and doing this type of shit for 15 years and I still can't do that shit because I'm it's scary, to be honest. But...
No, yeah, it's
your calling's your calling.
It definitely is scary. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I quit in October, I was like, shit. You know,
right. Like,
what? You know, I mean, you're so used to working, you know, that 9 to 5. Now you got to get yourself in the habit of understanding, like, you're your own boss. You still got to work even more harder. You know, you can't get lazy and comfortable. Like, you know, I was working that 9 to 5. I knew my check would be here every 15 days. Now I got to go and get this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because every time I'm sitting down, I'm losing $1. That's $1 less that I'm going to make, you know, and have in my pocket.
That's
and
right.
No one's going to give that to me. You know what I mean? So it's like now I got to, like, I look at it different. I'm more committed. Because back then it was a lot harder for me, you know, but now it's like, it's all I got.
That's dope. And family support, I'm sure they were supportive of your decision as well.
I mean, yeah, you know, luckily I got a good support system at home. You know, my baby mama, my kids.
Shout out to you.
You know, my mom, you know, she stays with me as well. I was able to move her in with us. So they, you know, they were holding it down while I was traveling. So it's not, you know, now they're happy that I'm home.
Yeah, also I was about to say that.
They're happy that I'm home. But, you know, also like the whole business with Los Bayuncos has always been a family thing. All my cousins, you know, they're always, my nephews, their sons and daughters have always been a part of it. Like I've had a lot of my nephews started when they were 15, helping out. Now they're going to college. You know, I got another wave of nephews coming in that are 15 and 16 that help out. So it's like all, you know, it's a big family thing.
Being that you started with your mom, what does she think about the growth of the company? And like, just, you know, I feel like they're so humble, like grandmothers and mothers, most of all Salvadorian grandmothers and mothers, they're so humble and loving and just proud of any accomplishment. How does she feel?
Well, you know, she's just trying to make sure that, you know, she's like, we're not done yet.
That's good.
Like,
period.
You know, I ask her all the time, you done? She's like, we're not done yet. You're not there yet. You know, you gotta take it to the next level. The next level is either brick and mortar or food trailer. You know, she's like, then, you know, you got to keep going. Never stop. She keeps telling me all the time. Like, that's my main support right there. Like, she's the one that pushes me. There's times where I'm like tired as hell.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't even want to do this event today. She's already up. Like, get ready. Let's go. Like, don't be lazy, you know?
Right.
Like, she wakes up every day at 4 a.m., you know, 4:30. Like, what's today? What we got? You know, and I'm like, all right, well, let's go work. If you're ready, I'm ready. So, you know.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'd be waking up at 4 too, and I'd be like, "Fuck that shit." But no, the hardest working people do start early and make it happen, Captain. Babe, you want to pour some shots so we can sip a shot? That's super dope. That's all happening like that. What are your plans for Los Bayuncos within maybe like, let's say, the next 5 years?
So
3 to 5 years.
You know, we haven't said anything to anybody, but right now it looks like we'll be having a trailer by next month.
Exclusive.
Yeah,
Stop playing with me. You hear it here first. Now I'm going to have to get this one edited way before all the other ones, because period. That's
Yeah,
congratulations on that.
thank
That's
you,
super
thank
dope.
you.
I was just telling my brother too, like these niggas need a bus. Nigga, fucking, they need a bus we could sit on and eat them things.
You know, so we got, you know, we got some folks that, you know, have really helped us out, and they're trying to help us out. So we're gonna be, you know, using their trailer for the next, you know, couple months or maybe a year. We don't know how long, just to get that experience and see how it feels to be in one, you know. But my goal is either, you know, get our own trailer in the future or get a brick and mortar, you know.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
How do you think? So right now we're in the era of like Instagram, TikTok, and everything, and we have a lot of like. They're not food critics. I'm gonna be clear. Y'all niggas is not food critics. Nigga. Y'all ain't certified nigga. But they do have opinions and they do have a following that does impact. Have you dibbled and dabbled with content creators, one, and two, what do you think about like what do you think about that when people are predicting food that are not like
Oh man, I like that question. You know
Right.
what? I've been waiting to answer this
Okay,
question.
good.
It's like one of those questions. Like I hope somebody asks me this shit. You know what? I mean, I think it's good and bad for business.
Right.
One, I know a lot of them that are out there right now that are content creators that actually do it because it's, you know, they do it because they love to eat, which is cool, you know. And I know making reels, that's hard because I can't make a reel for shit, you know. So I know it takes time editing and all that stuff. But then there's those that actually have the following but charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
and that
do.
to me is not cool. You know,
Me,
like
I
I don't fuck with that. Like if I pay you to do a reel for me. Okay, do a reel for my food, but don't come out saying my shit's good or it's not good. You know what I mean? Like I think they need to come up with like a guideline for these content creators or influencers, whatever they want to call themselves. If you're gonna be charging restaurants $500, and I know motherfuckers that do that shit, up to $1,500, don't come out on the video saying his shit's whack or his shit's smack or his shit's, you know, good
Nah,
or delicious
right.
or whatever it is. Don't do that shit. Because now you lying, you know, one, your shit is not an honest review. Two, you know what I mean? Because you're doing it because they're paying you.
Yeah.
You know. So if you're gonna be charging, I've always said if you're charging for real, stick strictly to just content. You know, take video of the people that are doing it, ask the questions to the people that are cooking it. Stay out of the fucking video, then charge. But if you're gonna be all in the video, you know, talking about, oh, this is shit's fucking, you know, no, that's not, that to me is not cool.
And I agree.
You know,
I've said that a lot, and it's so upsetting because some of the highest reviewers, they happen to be from our fucking community, black and brown, and they're not doing what they have to do the way that I would expect them to do it.
Yeah.
But let me go to fucking TikTok, and there's this fucking, he stands out to me. I need to find his name, but he's a white food content creator who goes to businesses, captures their food, them cooking it, tries the food, but never like specify. He explains what they use and everything, but never says it was nasty, it was good, it was nothing. He's all like, y'all make sure to check it out and you have your own opinion.
Definitely.
Which I think that's the way it should be. Like you shouldn't put in people's heads like what it's like.
yeah. See, I'm old school. I look more for like the Chronicle to come to my place and give me a feature.
Right.
You know, those are the writers that I'm waiting for to
Right.
come and highlight Los Bayuncos, you know. But I'm not gonna reach out to them and be like, hey, come see me. No, I'm not a group either. You know, I feel like the way that I was, you know, taught in the industry, I've been in the industry for almost 25 years, you know, and the way I was taught is, you know, you got to work to get all these highlights. Like I never called KTVU to call me out, or I never called Channel 48 to call me out. They reached out to us because they heard about us. But, you know, like I said, I started in people's backyards. You know, I've been last year we called it a Cali Putaco tour, which we went everywhere in California in cities. Like motherfuckers was hitting me up like, dude, you crazy. You're going over there? Yep, I'm in Salinas. Yep, I'm over here in Tracy. Tomorrow I'm in LA. Then
How
I'm
was
going
that?
over there. I mean,
That's interesting.
well, the only marketing you're going to do is your own marketing, right? So my way of seeing it last year, I told my team, I was like, you know what? I was like, we're going to be hitting cities that no one hits. And they're like, what do you mean? We're going to go far out. The only way people are going to get to know what the Bayuncos are and those PUTACOS is by us going out to places that people won't go. And the cool thing is, like, I hit all these breweries, and they were hella down to earth, like, yep, come out. So we would go and hit all these breweries, pockets of cities where, you know, they never knew about us, but now they do, you know. And so, again, that to me is why, like, I'm old school. I you know, I stick to that code where, like, I got to earn it. You know, I'm not going to call somebody to come give me something, you know what I mean? So, but I think now with, like, what you're mentioning, everything's it's fucked up because everybody wants to get that reel where it's gonna hit 1 million views for a couple thousand followers, and then what? You know, there's a couple people that I know that got a lot of views, got a lot of followers from some big dude going to them, and they weren't ready for the next thing that happened. You know what I mean? They failed.
Right.
Because the next time after this guy went over there, they weren't prepared for such a big, you know, line of people that were gonna come and see them.
Right.
So now that hurts your business. You know, so it's like it's a win and lose situation. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just what I think.
No, totally valid. I agree. I think what you think. Let me just take this.
Cheers.
A los Bayuncos.
Yeah.
Cheers. God damn. Yeah, you gave me like a triple.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah, that was. Look at all of us. I wish we had cameras on all of us. Like that was just... Gotta chase that shit with water. God damn.
Oh yeah. That was good.
That woke me up. So that's super dope. A truck is super dope. Do you ever see in your future a restaurant, or do you feel like you rather keep it like?
No, I do. I do. I you know, hopefully one day we can get a restaurant to be able to showcase, you know, again, so the food truck is more like street food, what our menu is, but restaurant, we would have to redo ourselves all over again, like redo our menu, redo the style of how we're doing our food, you know, because it's different.
Right.
You got people coming to sit down, you know what I mean?
That's so important that you're mentioning this type of stuff, because I feel like a lot of people that do have and own like food vendors and stuff, they don't think like that. No. They don't you really understand the business and like the demographics and everything. Like you understand what's gonna help your business elevate, and you don't mind going back to your blueprint. And I think that's important. You always have to, it's nothing wrong with your blueprint, but you have to go back to be able to tweak it a little bit. So, you know. Definitely.
And I think that's one of the things with a restaurant. And don't get me wrong, I would love a restaurant. It'd be fun. I know my cousin would have fun with it.
Right.
You know, that's his thing, you know. He'd be the one to take charge on how we would create the plates and design the, you know, how we plate everything. But, yeah, we would have to do everything different. We already have a menu in mind of like, if we were to get a restaurant, this is what we would do versus when we get the trailer, you know, we're expanding this and this is what we're doing for the trailer. So again, you know, we have something for everything.
I wanted to talk, let me actually go, because I thought you only had PUTACOS, bro. You don't just have PUTACOs.
We got more. So the only reason why we've been pushing the Putaco is because I wanted people to get to know. Last year, again, we called it a Cali Putaco tour, which we did a lot of breweries everywhere in California. And we were bringing along with us is DJ Juice. He comes with us to all these breweries, and he provides the music, and then, you know, I would do the food. So it was like we did this traveling shit where we were just everywhere.
Right, I'm going.
Yeah.
But you have PUTACOs, you have YUCA BAYUNCA, you have Guanaco sliders, Bayunco dogs, and Bayunco rolls. I really want to know what's Bayunco rolls and what's Guanaco sliders.
All right, so the Guanaco sliders is sliders. Imagine the pan con pavo.
Oh my sliders, God, right? Bro! Come on.
Yeah. So that one, I made that back in 2018, 17. The way that one came across, we were doing the chickens horneados with the, you know, turkey sauce, everything for a catering with my cousin. And then we got hungry, and I'm like, fuck. And this is how much of the shit that we create comes out, right? And me and him like, dude, I'm fucking starving. He's all right. So he grabbed a slider, Hawaiian roll. And then I was like, well, just put some of the chicken in the middle and then put some sauce. So we took a bite, and I was like, oh, we looked at each other like, oh, sheesh. I was like, dude,
that's different. I would have never thought of a Hawaiian roll, because Hawaiian is sweet. It's sweet. Yeah. Game changer. When we took the bite, we looked at each other, and I was like, you know, we could sell this. He's like, we could definitely sell this. I was like, all right, well, this is called Guanaco Sliders. He's like, I like the name. And then, you know, we ended up putting like everything you put on the actual pan con pavo. Like we put a little bit of the berro, the radish, the cucumber on it, you know. And so when you're biting, you're taking a small bite of like a pan con pavo, right? You know, and the flavor with the sauce on the side where you could just dip it. Yeah. No, I'll just water it. That's so good. And are those like seasonal, or do you do that often? Because I ain't seen that.
No, we didn't bring it out all last year. We're bringing it out this year. Oh, because again, last year we just wanted to push the Putacos, which we did it. But this year we're going back to starting to push the full menu. which is why we're gonna have it tomorrow at Speakeasy. We'll be having them there.
Okay, period. We're going to Speakeasies.
We're gonna have the YUCA BAYUNCA too, so that's
Oh my
our number
God.
one seller too. Yeah,
A lot of people don't know what YUCA is because he was even like, what? Oh, can
Cassava?
you explain what YUCA is for the people?
yeah. So YUCA is like a root cassava. It's used a lot. A lot of Jamaicans, they eat that in Central America. So it's we boil it and then you fry it, or you can eat it boiled. Either way, but it's kind of like a French fry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, once you say French fry,
Yeah.
niggas be like, oh, the big ass one.
Yeah,
So
the
good.
brown one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So what we did is we turned that. I wanted to do something different versus the traditional where you just put the pork on top and the slaw and the fucking red sauce. I was like, you know what? Here you go again. Let me try something different. I want to create my own shit, make it stand out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get chorizo salvadoreño. So I got the chorizo salvadoreño, crumbled it. I threw it on top of the yuca with some refried red beans, and then I used the Salvadorian sour cream with the cheese, and then the over easy egg with we call it chimol, but they call it pico de gallo. That's what everybody knows. So all that goes on top of the fries. So yeah.
We're just like speechless. Like, wow. like, oh
Yeah,
my
these
God.
are all things that we just I created just spur of the moment shit where I just be thinking like, ooh, what'll go with this?
I just think it's super important. Like, as a I'm a proud Salvadorian, y'all.
Mhm.
I'm a proud Salvadorian, and I just feel like people just try to know, like, identify us by just a pupusa. And we're
Definitely.
bigger than just a pupusa.
Definitely.
The menu goes for fucking days.
It does.
And the way that, no shade to any other country, but the way our people, the minds, when it comes to the kitchen, it's like the things they can create and the way that it works, to me, is impressive. It's just, fuck a chef, nigga. Go
No.
to Salvadorian. Like,
No, definitely. And I appreciate you hit that because it's true, which is one of the main reasons why we chose to do the Bayuncos with my cousin. Again, like I said, he's a French chef. He's fine dining. That's his MO. My MO was street food, Asian food, which is what I fucking love. But at the point I was like, yo, why don't we start learning our cuisine? Let's start learning our cuisine. Let's learn from my mom. Let's put our food on the map. And that's all we try and do. Because what I noticed is that it's slowly starting to go away, Salvadorian food.
yes.
Why? Because all the people our age, well, Salvadorian food to begin with is cooked by a lot of females.
Yes.
That's normally what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of females cook the food. Now, it's starting to go away. If it's not our moms or grandmas cooking it,
Nobody
and no one else is trying to learn. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, a lot of the males you'll see now are starting to cook Salvadorian food everywhere in LA, here, in the United States. If you notice, a lot of restaurants are the males pushing it,
Yeah.
versus females. So my thing was like, man, I want to keep learning it. I want to keep pushing and want to keep it alive. I don't want it to die. So it's why I decided to, go full force on learning Salvadoran cuisine from my mom. And we got a good chef, man. She's been doing this shit since 65.
That's crazy.
6 years old.
That's so crazy because your mom will be there just doing her shit.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even think.
I think she's made more than 1 million pupusas in her lifetime. I'll be honest with you, probably.
We need to just make a little plaque
I mean,
and give her that shit because that shit crazy.
I'm being honest with you. I know that's a high number, but shit, just last year, I think I was looking at the numbers on Square. I think she might have hit like almost 30 racks. Just
Damn,
pupusas,
bro.
just throughout the whole year.
How do you kind of going into like the pricing? Because a lot of people, that shit irritates me when people be like, $8, $7 a pupusa.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, this is not back in the day. Pupusa is not $2, and you won't find it like that at Panchitas. You won't find it there like that at Las Santanecas. Doesn't matter where you go, you're not gonna find it like that.
Yeah.
I'm all like, but how do you look at your pricing and try to stay affordable for the community? Because I don't think your shit's expensive at all for the way that you serve it. Not expensive at all.
Yeah, so part of it is, if you notice, when you go to pupuserias, their pupusas are like this big, dude. Like, no shade, you know what I mean? Like, they're fucking huge. I went to 2 of them, and I couldn't even finish 2. And back then, I was able to finish 3, 4, you know what I mean?
Me too.
But now it's like they're getting bigger and bigger because they're trying to charge you more, right? So with us, what we do is like, all right, Mom, we're going to charge $8, but let's stay consistent, you know what I mean? Small size. And you know, again, we're combining a taco with a pupusa. You know what I mean? So
you're getting 2 meals in one, bitch.
yeah,
Stop
you're
playing.
getting. And honestly, we don't get hate. Like I haven't received hate when people come up to our
I
booth
haven't
like
heard nobody say
$8.
nothing.
Like you know, I mean, it's rare. I want to tell you, it's really rare. And then I educate the person, and they'll see my mom. They're like, "Oh, that makes sense. Why it's $8."
Yeah, it's like authentic.
She's making it fresh. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I was like, "Hey, fuck that. I'll pay you." You know, but it's rare when I've gotten anybody complaining about $8. But I'm not gonna go more higher than that. We started selling them at $4 back in 18. $4,
shit.
yeah.
Well, congrats. That's $4 more in
Yeah.
your pocket.
You know, $4, man. We used to sell them at $4 when I first started, and I was losing money. But then I never wanted to raise it, you know. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. They're like, dude, you're not making any money.
So when a business is losing money when they have low prices in the food industry, is because the ingredients are expensive?
And everything went up. So, for example, a case of tomatoes, it would cost us back then was $12. Right now, it's costing you $40 to $50.
That is
for a
ridiculous,
case.
bro.
Yeah, $40 to $50 for a case.
That's
A
crazy.
case of avocados back then used to cost you $18. Now it's costing you $45 for that case of avocados. You know, so everything's going up. It's so expensive. Like that's why I told my mom, like, all right, we make the pupusas smaller. We're not gonna change the price, or either we gotta up it up and keep them, you know, make pupusas bigger. I was like, nah, just keep them small, and we won't change the price on it. And then you know, but
It's worth it,
It's
y'all.
worth. It's not easy. It's hard, you know, but it's shit's expensive.
Before it's kind of like a mediocre question, but it's kind of like, what did you want to be growing up? Because food industry, that's like, you don't see many males, like you said,
Yeah.
doing that. Has that always been like in your mind, food, or was it something else?
Nah, for me, it's always been food. I think I dropped out of school when I was 15, 16. And I went straight to go work at an ice cream shop.
Oh shit!
And
good
so I was
about to say good shit, bro. Don't
No,
drop out. But
no, I
good
mean
shit, bro.
I did finish, but my main, you know, I did finish school, but you know,
Nice.
went to go work at an ice cream shop. But I've always been fascinated with the school industry, and I got to say, you know, culinary saved my life from, you know, pushing me to the streets. You know, I was able to find, you know, passion in the kitchen, and shout out to Mission Language Vocational Obrero. I went there and I got their culinary program, which I always tell people, like, you know, I went there. It was a good program. That's why, you know, got my career going. And from there, I ended up getting hired as a sushi, you know, working in a sushi restaurant called Blowfish. So, you know, yeah, Blowfish Sushi on 20th and Bryant, they're closed, but that was the first time where I worked in the kitchen. And you know, it's always been a passion for me. And I knew it's not a job because I can be in the kitchen fucking in the morning all the way to the night. You know, sometimes the hours will go by and I'm just like, oh shit, it was like 1 in the afternoon. It's already 10 p.m. I gotta go home see the kids. I'll be mad, like, fuck, I gotta go home. Yeah.
Right.
Not because I gotta see my kids.
No, right.
But because you're like, you know, you
gotta
love
stop,
it. Like
yeah.
you forget. Like you're so, you know, like how you guys love what you do. You love
Yeah.
music, right? You fucking forget. You can be in the studio for almost
Right.
14 hours, 16 hours nonstop. You guys like, oh shit. All right, now I gotta go home. Fuck. So that's how I knew, you know, I always wanted to be in the kitchen.
That's
you know.
super dope also, because it's like I usually have a lot of I have business owners here. I have a lot of artists majority, but it's just super dope that you're in the food industry, and it's like we're all, when you have a passion for something, it doesn't matter what it is, we all have the same drive. Like
Yeah.
it's super inspiring. Like
Definitely.
the same way I've been stuck on music since I was young. You were at an ice cream shop, like that's where your heart's at.
Yeah.
And just to see what it's flourished to, like, salute to you and congratulations.
Oh, yeah,
Not just
thank
you, but your partners, your mother, your
Appreciate it.
everybody. Like, that's just super dope. Oh, what's your next event coming up?
Next event will be tomorrow at Speakeasy. Friday we'll be in we're gonna be in Pacifica, but next week we're gonna be out same place Thursday Speakeasy, and then we have March 2nd we're gonna be in Hayward with West Coast Makers. It's a night foodie fest, so it's about 100 food vendors that are gonna be there. We're gonna be one of the ones that are gonna be participating in that event. So
That's super dope. Have you been to Foodie Land?
Foodie Land I haven't. No.
You haven't? I can't
No.
wait to see you in Foodie Land. That's super dope. You will not get food poisoning off of them. Stop playing. That's super dope. I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you're gonna create and it's to
Thank you.
come. Any words that you would like to leave the people with?
Nah, man. Just follow your dream and your passion. Find your passion, you know. Find what it is that you like to do and stick to it. Don't give up, you know. I ain't gonna say everything's been perfect with me, you know, in this journey. But, you know, I always find a way to get through whatever struggles or, whatever difficult times. Especially right now, January was difficult time for a lot of industry in the culinary industry. A lot of businesses that I know, friends.
Why so?
The rain, there's not a lot of events. People are still broke. Taxes haven't came in.
Right.
Everybody waiting on them checks.
Right.
So they're not spending as much, So a lot of these small businesses, a lot of people that I know ended up closing or throwing in the towel, which is a sad thing.
That is fucked up.
We almost threw it in, but I was like, nah, we're going to fucking, we're going to get through it. And luckily we came out alive. We're still here. We're still standing, and we're going to keep pushing for the culture.
For sure. And I want to tell you, it's super inspiring. There's dreamers and there's doers, and you would literally remind me of a dreamer that didn't look at it as a dream, but as a vision. And you executed, and you're a doer. Not just you, again, your partners, your family, anybody who's part of Los Bayuncos is super inspiring.
Thank you.
Los Bayuncos, I've heard the name way before I even knew what it was. So it's super, super dope. And I'm super proud to know you guys. It's like,
thank you. Appreciate you.
I be getting so excited, y'all. Like, anybody that's accomplishing something that I know, I'd be like, I'm from the same city them niggas from. So it's super dope. With that being said, do you want to leave your Instagram so everybody can know?
Yeah, we're Los Bayuncos, LOS_Bayuncos, BAYUNCOS_. That's our Instagram. You guys give us a follow. Appreciate it.
Dope. And people can hit you up for any catering events.
Caterings,
and stuff like that?
we do corporate caterings, we do weddings, all kinds of events.
They did my brother's baby shower, and that shit was shit.
Yeah, and we still do the tacos and pupusas. So
yeah, you guys, they did. They did do it separate, or they could put it on top.
Yeah,
Stop playing with
them. The tacosas caterings.
What you need, they got, and you will succeed. Stop playing with it. Again, this was Tatiana, TYSF, QODS podcast, and we were here today with the one and only, the one with the delicious flavor. You can't play with them, okay? You're going to hear about them. Los Bayuncos, okay? Yee.